The question is whether you want to introduce this or whether you want me to introduce this.
I don't mind.
Part 1 of this chat is actually on my channel, and the link will be below in your description if you want to get to go back to part 1 to watch it. If not, and you're only here to see Michael, which for somebody might be well be, it's his channel, then this is part 2. And thank you very much.
No, thank you. So I'm sitting here today having a chat with Rick. If you missed part 1, go over to Just Rick and have a look at that. I mean, I'm sure it'll still be in context if you just watch this and go back after. That doesn't matter what order they watch it in, really. But we're here today having a chat about all things men and mental health. And basically, we wanted to put the message out that, you know, we all go through struggles. I am at the moment in the middle of a bit of a...
Let's get that a little bit onto you. I'll do that there. Go on.
I'm in the middle of a sort of little bit of a mental health rut, and I've taken myself away from social media and stuff for a little break. In fact, we need to go on to that a little bit in this part 2. So why I took myself away from social media. Look, you'll know yourself.
This was about three months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, two and a
I have heard so many people say, right, I'm coming off Facebook, and then a week later there's another post.
Do you know what?
You came off Facebook, you're not on it.
We're all addicted to it, aren't we? It's, you know, it's like an extension of your arm, your phone. You sit and you scroll, and even previously I've come off for like a week at a time or whatever, and I end up just being nosy and going back on to see what's up. You feel out of the loop. I'm absolutely loving it this time. I don't know if I'll ever go back on it again.
Really?
Oh, just honestly, it's it gets to the point when you have anxiety, where you wake up in the morning and you're panicking, checking your phone in case something's happened, someone's rung you, you've had a phone call that someone's died. Again, irrational, like we were saying in part 1 over on your channel, it's irrational. You know, I always worry if I upset somebody, you know, yesterday or what, and I just have to check Facebook to make sure everything's all right. I'm better without that now, you know. I've been off it for a while.
It was the thing when you said to me, we stopped the part 1, and then you said to me, was that all right? And it's like, yeah, it's for what we expect as normality for you. I know you're actually, you're genuinely seriously caring to make sure that was all right.
Yeah, well,
that's the level that you're at most probably. If you scale it on a level of like 0 to 10 of anxiety, I think I sit around about the 2. And I think you're sitting most probably from watching now around about a 7 or an 8-ish.
Today I'm a bit more shaky. I said to you in part 1, I woke up a little bit jumpy today, and I read a brilliant analogy the other day by a boxer. It wasn't a world famous boxer, just an amateur boxer, and he's a big, burly, 6'7" heavyweight.
Yeah.
And just, you know, you'd see him coming along now, and you think, I wouldn't want to bump into him in a dark alley. And he suffers from anxiety, and he just said there's nothing weak about it. There's you know, he doesn't make you like a pussy or like a wimp. And he says I'm a big 20-stone boxer, a big guy. I'm not being funny. I'm not scared to fight anyone in the world, and I'm the same. I'm not frightened of anyone. I can handle myself. He says I'm not scared of a person in the world. He said, but you just get days with mental health where it's like the weather in your head. You wake up one day and it's cloudy, and you're not sure why, you know. And some days you wake up and it's sunny and you get on with it, you don't even think about it. And other days it's cloudy and you feel vulnerable. You get that feeling, like we were saying in part 1, of like impending doom and knot in your stomach, and you don't know why. And then what happens with me is I've always had quite a high IQ and been quite high intelligent, but my brain works in a way where I'll make a for and against argument for anything. So if I'm anxious and I'll think something like, you know, I'm going to have a heart attack or whatever, my brain will make sequences, make patterns. Well, remember last week you had a tingle in your fingers, you had a numb right arm. Do you remember that? Oh yeah, here it comes again. And there's nothing wrong, you know, but it just will, whatever the scenario, my brain will put all the puzzle pieces together
and create something.
Well, this is overwhelming evidence now. This is happening to me. But also through BetterHelp, as we were saying in part 1.
Yeah, this BetterHelp is...
This is an important thing. We're going to put links for our guest suicide prevention or Samaritans or BetterHelp. We're going to put them in the link below if anyone anonymously needs help. But I've been taught certain techniques, because apparently anxiety is never something you can cure, ever.
No.
It's like being an alcoholic. You're always in recovery.
Yeah.
It becomes less frequent, and you find ways to cope with it and deal with it. So when things come along, I'll realise it's just like standing in the water and it's a wave, and it comes in a wave, but the wave will pass.
Right.
And so I have to try and be like that. And I do something now, I've bought like a journal, and I have to do something called Socratic questioning. So it'll be like, for example, my eye, I've got a bit older. I probably need glasses. I'm 42 now. My vision's always been fine. But lately, I'll wake up and one eye will be a bit blurry and whatever. But I have allergies. I rub my eyes and scratch. So, and I'll have to write down, like, what am I worried about here? Right, why am I going blind? Right. So any reason to think that? No. Okay, I was under Moorfields Eye Hospital. They discharged me. Everything was fine. You know, it was a little blurry today, but yesterday it was fine. Okay, I've also had allergies today, so I've been rubbing my eyes in the night maybe. So I have to try and reason with myself, write the questions out and write a reply. You know, I try and get that from Steph and go like, why is this happening? I went through a phase, I'm going to sound mental. I went through a phase where I was checking my nails and I was thinking, my nails are quite shiny, they're quite healthy looking, I have like half moons or whatever crescents on them, they're quite healthy looking. But I went through a phase where I thought, was they always ridged like that?
Wow.
Right? And I remember reading somewhere that if you get a lot of thick black line down your nail, it might mean cancer. So I was checking my nails every day to make sure that I didn't have anything like that. And that's how it gets.
So, you're on this journey now, right? Because the part of a journey, I always find the part of a journey is that, number one, you don't realise you have it. Then number two, you realise you have it, and then you're in it. And then number three, you're getting help for it to come back out the other side of it. Now, I think you're at number 3 now, but it sounds like better help.
Yeah, I hope so.
Does that feel that way?
Do you know what, right? I've had 4 or 5 days where I've just felt invincible. And I've been messaging Steph after shows saying, I'm so comfortable on stage, I feel like my old self, I feel like I own it. You know, she said to me, she sounds so arrogant, she says to me sometimes when I'm not feeling, because I have panic attacks before I leave the house for work. And from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, oh, I'm on stage at 9. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And she is saying to me, right, go and show him who's the boss. Go and show him who's got it. Go and show him who's the number one. And of course she thinks that. So she talks me up. And sometimes
I do as well, by the way.
Thank you so much.
I do, but it's true.
Well, it's kind of.
It's true.
It's true. Sometimes I get on stage and I go through the motions and people go, that's great. And I just think, oh, it wasn't. You don't know what you're talking about. But you know, the last few nights I've stood on stage and I've just messaged her back. I went, I am controlling this room. I've got them in the palm of my hand. And I'll be like that for 4 or 5 days or a week or 2 weeks, and then something, I don't even know what, will spark it and I will wake up like I have today. I was looking forward to being in a good place to talk about this today, but actually it probably works out better that I'm having one of those days today where I'm a bit jumpy.
100%.
You know?
100%.
And I don't know what I'm scared of. Like we said, if 5 fellas came around the corner now, we'd handle ourselves. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of that. I don't know, I'm scared of this results for a routine blood test because I'm worried they're going to tell me something terrible, or they're going to say, but now we need to send you for more because we found a trace amount.
All right, here's one for you then. I'm not being an arse or devil's advocate.
Go on.
What happens if you didn't know? Would you not want to know?
I guess so, but I just don't want to be in that situation. I mean, I know what you're saying. You know, if I hear it. And if it was Steph, I would be going, we'll go and get it sorted out. Like go early, catch it early, whatever it is. I would be telling her that advice. But it's just a fear. Like I have an irrational fear of opticians. I have an irrational fear of doctors. Even if I'm taking my little boy to the doctors because he's got like a cough or a cold, like I'm in there sweating, like absolutely sweating. You know, 2 years ago I ended up in hospital, didn't I? Because my blood pressure shot up.
Yeah.
And they took me in there. I was in there all night. They did an ECG, a heart scan, a blood test. Came back and said, they said go to the heart specialist cardiologist in a week. So I was having kittens for the week, couldn't concentrate on stage. When I got there, she went, everything's fine. She went, you're actually quite fit, everything's fine. She went, you need to just stop stressing, calm down, you're anxious. Yeah. So they tried to put me on antidepressants, like which I don't want. And I took half of one day. I guess it helps a little, but I don't want to rely on medication. I don't want to be less sharp than I am. I don't want to be zombie-like or cloudy, foggy. I mean, I've always, before I did this, you're talking about in part 1 about being a golf pro. Yeah. I used to be a writer, and I used to write and help script doctor Hollywood script lots of famous films that have been out in the last few years. I've wrote part of it or changed part of it or helped produce it, and I've written scripts myself.
I never knew that.
Did you not?
No, I remember you telling me once, but I never knew it was like as big as that.
Yeah, I mean, I worked on the Game of Thrones, the film adaptation, the Lost Lands. That's something they're looking to bring out later on. You know, I worked on a Winter's Tale. I worked on an Einstein biopic. So lots of things that are coming later on. I actually worked on a version of a Marvin Gaye which is, Marvin Gaye's my idol, who also struggle with mental health.
Yeah.
It's funny, we'll come back to that in a minute, but it's funny the people that I've been drawn to through my life.
Yeah.
But I'm like I said, I'm quite intelligent, I'm very creative, and I've always said my brain is my blessing and my curse. And I'd always said I wouldn't change it, because without this side, I wouldn't have the brilliance. If I may say so, without sounding like I wouldn't have that creativity to do things other people go, I don't know how you do that, that's amazing. But I'm getting to the point where I might just want to be normal. And coming back, because I've got so many things in my head, I tend to be a bit when I'm speaking to my mum, we're both like it, we've got 18 conversations going on at once. Facebook. I love having people following me, I love hearing from them, I love seeing them, but I don't know if Shelley's the same. I must get between, realistically, without exaggerating, 20 to 30 messages a day. From people. Some is lovely, some's just asking her, but I've also had, and this was the catalyst for coming off, it was Sunday night, I was in bed, Steph and I were sleeping, the kids are sleeping, my Facebook Messenger's ringing, someone's phoning me over and over and over, and you panic, what's wrong? And you look and it's like, I don't recognise this person, but I recognise the names on my Facebook. And it was ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. Then they start leaving voice messages, and it's, we've had a drink, we're thinking about we're going to bring you up, sing us a song, can you sing this, do shaggy, do rapping. And I'm sorry, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm in bed. Oh no, just one song, ringing. But if that's an isolated incident, that's one thing. A few weeks before I came off, I also had somebody phoning me on Messenger, phoning. Again, 3 or 4 a.m. And then when I didn't answer, they just wrote, hello mate, we're coming over in April, where are you going to be? Why are you choosing the middle of the night
to ask you that?
To ask me that?
And I remember a piece of advice was that a telephone is for your convenience, not for other people's.
But if I've tried turning it off, but then if I turn it off, I wake up in the morning in a panic that when I turn it on, there's a problem.
I think your decision to go on Facebook, I think, was the right decision
I think talking out loud, I sound like I should be in a mental institution.
No, 100% no. 100% not. No, leave it in the comments what you think as well, because it's really important about it. The whole idea with the channel that I have, Just Rick, was, it sounds awful, it's a man's channel. It's not a man's channel, but it's a channel that just blokes 40 to 50, 60 who generally don't talk.
This is what this was today,
We've
wasn't
never
it?
talked.
No, this was what this was today. And how many times, every time I see you, I know you're busy, I know you've got the kids, I know you do 200 shows a week, but you want a coffee, give me a call.
Always.
And people do say if you want to talk about, but I don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to put on people. I know you're going to tell me it's not, because I say the same to other people. But I don't really want to bring it up. And, with the exception of today, we're doing this for a reason and to put a message out there. But I don't really want to do it. But men, I
don't think men really want to do it.
I don't think men really want to do it.
I don't think. I always said there's a vlog on mine. I always remember the excerpt of it. I was that exasperated that when you're a kid, you turn around and you look and your dad just goes, "Come here, I'll sort it out," and the problem's gone.
Yeah.
But when you're 40, 50, 60, and you're looking around and there's nobody there.
You're the
say,
dad to sort
"Come
it
here,
out."
it's gone," and you can't see a way out of it. That's, to me, is the explosion inside, or the surprise. It's like, to me, it's like jumping on a grenade. And you're just lying on top of a grenade and it's going off, and it's just like you just can't really work it out. And I think that's the feeling that men have, because they're supposed to keep that inside.
I message my mum most days, because Steph, as brilliant as she is in every single way, she sometimes, I'm difficult to live with at the moment. I'm hard work, and she can explain in 10 different logical ways why it's irrational what I'm thinking, and I just can't accept it, or my brain thinks of a counter argument, My mum and I don't want to upset her, but we've had a unusual relationship through the years, because she was in a place where she needed to leave my dad, and she left him and me at 13, and there was some period before I knew where she was. So I have a bit of an abandonment issue. I've found out through the counselling. I'm a little bit OCD. I have a little bit of an abandonment issue. So my mum and I have had a strange relationship, but during this period, I've turned to her a lot to say, right, Mum, can I just have some reassurance? Because her brain does work a lot like mine. She, I don't know why I'm scared of it. I've never been scared of it before. This blood test coming back, I said, what if I've got diabetes? But not only that, I was on stage singing thinking, what if I've got diabetes? And that's why I get lightheaded sometimes, because I do, but that's a sign of anxiety, right? But and my eyes are a bit blurrier now. Not the fact because I'm 42 and I may need blood, but my eyes. But what if I've had diabetes for 10 years and it's gone untreated and I've ignored it, and now it's affecting the back of my eye? And what if they tell me, okay, you're going to go blind? And just my brain on stage mid-song does that. And my mum.
You're in the middle of like Marvin Gaye's lyrics.
Yeah. And my mum will have to go to me, right, no, it's not. You know, her husband, Sean, has diabetes. He's in his 60s. He's had it for 30 years. You know, he tests his sugar. He checks that he has a tablet in the morning. If it is, it's very early stages. At this point, you would change it with a diet and then test again. If it is, it's just a tablet. It's, you know, be logical here. You know, and I go, right, okay, that speaks to my soul and it calms me down because it's a rational point I can believe. Yeah. Rather going when my irrational brain is going against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you want to get out of this? It's your channel now. The vlog should be 15 to 18 minutes long with 15 in, Mike.
I mean, there's just so much I feel I haven't said, but I like the way you're honing in on that question. What I want is, if there's anybody feeling, I guess I want some reaffirmation that I'm not mental, and that,
comment below,
and that I wouldn't be happy that other people are experiencing this, but if they are, I would take some comfort in that.
Yeah. As I think they would take comfort as well, knowing. Yeah. Go on.
I'd like people to realise that I'm not being rude in the last couple of months, that I haven't been around, or that I haven't been as chatty if they see me at shows, or I haven't been on social media, or I haven't even checked my messenger, but I get things on my phone just saying like there's like 60 odd messages on there, but I've not gone into it. So I don't want anyone to think I'm ignoring them. I'm just trying to take myself away to protect myself for a little while, and I want us, like we said, to put some links in the description for better help, for the Samaritans, for, you know, suicide prevention. I want people to know it's okay to talk and that you're not alone. Yeah. And you know, I would always have said before, anyone, strangers can reach out to me. But maybe I'm not at the moment in a place. I'm trying to get my own house in order.
Oh, that's the right thing to do. For me, I think when I look at Michael Leavy Jr, when I look at people on Tenerife, on the island, and I look at people in the entertainment world, and I know, you know how good Shelley is. I know how good Shelley is. But then you go to the male version, and you've got a behemoth like you on stage, smashing it out of the park, who then looks invincible on stage, no matter what. Because you do. You look invincible on stage every single time I see you.
I don't feel it.
Correct. You knock out the park. Yeah, but it's as an audience member looking in, you smash it. But then to realise the stories that you have behind in the last half an hour that we've chatted about,
it's just not enough time either.
No, but I think what you'll find is most probably your channel might go this direction. You guys are watching this because you follow Michael and his family and what they get up to, and you're interested in, you know, they care about it, and it might be something else that you want to carry on doing and do it more, you know, and
it may bore people. I can't help but feel like
well, your numbers will tell.
Well, this is a little bit of a contradiction in what I'm saying, but I feel like I've emasculated myself or said too much or made myself look silly.
No.
But it's important for the cause, I think, that I can do that, so that it's natural to feel this way, and when other people are feeling that way, we may save a life today.
The thing for me was, it was when my hero, who I idolised, Robin Williams, committed suicide, and I went, what, how, what? And I think it's the things like that that was the one that was a big shock for me.
Again, because it's the mask when you have to step on stage as well.
Do you know what I mean? And that's, I think, for yourself, I think, to get out of this, the only thing, I ramble a little bit now to try and get to a point, but the actual thing for me is to show that you're not alone, I'm not alone, you're not alone in what's going on, and there's going to be thousands of people out there that will be understanding exactly what you're saying, and there'll be one or two people on there that will 100% get it.
And it's not permanent.
No, it's not.
No.
I was in the deepest, darkest place you will not believe 6 years ago. Yeah. And I am now in a very, very good place. Yeah. In a very good place. Still getting there, still working, but I'm in a very good place 6 years later. And that's something that we might. I'll tell you what, I might do that on the next one on your channel. You can interview me.
That'd be nice. Cheers, mate.
Seriously.
Good to see you as always.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, you know what to do, alright? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave your comments what you think. Leave your comments what you think. For now,
thanks for watching.
Cheers. Let's go and have a coffee.
Yeah, right.
Come on.